Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Greetings everybody, let's take a look again at the euro currency. Well guys, on Friday this was really dramatical action, not just on the euro currency but on the gold market as well. And you would understand it why we treat it as drastic for the gold, because in fact, if you remember, if you in general track our updates on the gold market, long term, for the long time, approximately for the month, we have discussed the possibility of appearing the bullish grabber on the monthly chart. But particularly in the last trading session of the November, market has destroyed this opportunity and has closed below the MACD predictor on the monthly chart. So on the euro currency, situation seems not as drastic as on the gold market, but in general, it's also has some signs that point on possible downward continuation. Most clear pictures we have on the higher time frame charts, particularly on the weekly, because we have side-by-side two weekly bearish stop grabbers that suggest taking out of these lows. And as you can see, although market stands very close to the current lows, the potential of this trade purely based on the grabbers is not very impressive. But we are mostly interested with these grabbers not just as the pattern that could lead us to the previous lows, but as the pattern that could trigger the downward action and could lead us to our target is 122 even area. That's our long-term target on the monthly chart. And it seems that the less and less time stand till the reaching of this target. I even can't exclude that market could reach it on the common week, because we will get non-farm payrolls release. On Friday we will get the European Central Bank meeting. That could really add significant volatility on the market, and it will not be surprised that if euro will show any drastic breakouts at the end of the week. That's also possible. Turning to the intraday charts and daily picture. On the daily picture, we also get some clarity. So within the recent 3 weeks, we have discussed the possibility of the three drive pattern on the weekly chart. Although on the weekly chart it looks not very impressive, but here this pattern takes the really classical form shape. You can see that three drive very often includes the butterflies, two side-by-side butterflies, and the destination point of this butterflies coincide approximately the same area. It also will be the daily oversold. Also, this action takes the shape of the wedge pattern that also very typical for the three drive. That's why we think that it's really chances maybe right now stand in favor of still on the downward action. But we think so not just because we get weekly grabbers or these butterflies. If we will take a look at the intraday charts and on the daily time frame chart, we'll see some details that maybe they are not very bright, but they give us more information, some nuances that let us to understand what's really going on here. And at the first glance, the intraday charts looks really boring because they have no significant patterns to trade, no clear setups, no Jordan-Napoli directional patterns, and at the first glance, this is really not very impressive picture. But this chart contain some important details that let us to make some conclusions on the further action and the short-term perspective. First of all, if you'll take a look at the daily chart, you'll see that on the previous week, market has failed to test monthly pivot point of November. It even hasn't reached it. That's really quite rare moment when the price action wasn't able to reach the monthly pivot point within the month. Second, on the previous week, price action wasn't able to pass through the weekly pivot resistance one. And we know that if pivot resistance one holds, the upside retracement, it means that previous downward trend is still valid. And on the daily chart, these moments led us to suggest that probably markets still stand in the downward direction. And although we've got this bullish grabber on the previous week with this candle, I have marked it by the red circle here. We have the bullish stem grabber. In fact, the chances that this grabber will work becomes really blur, and probably it's right now the chances on the failure of this pattern even more than the chances that it will work. And finally, on the daily time frame chart, I don't have it on this picture, but market has closed below the weekly pivot point of the previous week. Also, market wasn't able to erase this candle. It's really a strong candle to the downside that in fact holds the all price action of the following week. So you can see all candle stands in the range of this big plunge down, and market wasn't able to take it out. So this means that market is not really strong to overrule the bearish power right now that we have on the euro currency. And the chances on the downward action seems right now preferable than the upside breakout. The dominating factor here will be, of course, European Central Bank statement and non-farm payrolls release. If we will get just awful non-farm payrolls release, it's probably we will see the breakout to the upside. But taking into consideration that information that we have right now and current picture situation, technical situation, we probably make the conclusion that the bearish perspective seems a bit more preferable than bullish one. On the forward time frame chart, as I said, nothing really interesting, but some details. So here's the picture of our thought on possible bullish grabber on daily. So we said if grabber will start to work, then probably it should complete this large ABCD pattern and slightly update this top. Taking out the stops here creates some smaller top just to accomplish the target of the grabber, and simultaneously maybe to reach the monthly pivot point. But this hasn't been done. And take a look at this action. As market has started to take the shape of inner ABCD pattern, we said that that is really significant support area. That's weekly pivot point. That was also weekly pivot point for the previous week. And this was the 50% support. And we said that if market is really bullish and really would like to continue move higher, this has intention to continue move higher, it probably should start this action right here. And this really indeed has happened. So you can see market has tried to bounce up, has trying to reestablish this move up, but failed, returned right back down and closed below the weekly pivot point. This inability on the market to restart this upside continuation makes suspicious. It's not normal for a really bullish market that wasn't able to start this to continue this ABCD pattern. It just has tried to do this and failed, return right back down to this point. That really looks bearish. Also take a look, guys, the trend has shifted bearish as well. Now, more details we have on hourly chart. On the hourly chart, we have discussed the harmonic swings of this upside action. This was really amazing. So you can see that this upside action has absolutely the same length. They have different steep angle, but the length is the same. The same I could say about the downward retracements. They also have the same harmonic swing. This retracement down stands at the 2 times greater than this one. This is also very harmonic. But let's see, take a look what has happened after that. When the market has accomplished the double time retracement, it has started to move up, but wasn't able to reach, wasn't able even to complete the harmonic swing of this upside action. And that also is some confirmation of the weakness of the market. And this price behavior increases the chances that market will fail somewhere here and turn to the downside. The clear patterns we have only on the daily time frame chart, and this clear pattern is the butterfly. That's why in the current circumstances, guys, we probably gravitate to the thought that the downward action is more probable in the coming week. And fundamentally, and based on the data that we get from the European Union, so it's the same. The situation is far from the really success on the economical sphere, and euro will remain under pressure. Besides, if you track the geopolicy, you understand that the new escalation is coming in the Ukraine, and that in turn will force on the Euro Union to apply new sanctions, and that will in turn will hurt their economy as well. That's why currently we do not see any reasons and chances to speak on possible improvement in some drastic reversal in the euro currency. That's why we expect that on the coming week, probably the downward action on euro currency will continue.